Station, my brother, station. They gotta welcome the one and only happy early birthday to my main man, Rocky and Robbie.
Station, my dude, station.
Where our birthdays literally 1 week apart almost, man.
Like 2 weeks, but close enough.
2 weeks exactly. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, it's fine, man. I mean, I love it, man. Yeah, it's Robbie week. And I told you, I was like, I want to pick what we do the weekend of my birthday. And initially, I was like, well, I want to do every Argento film. And then we got a little real, and we were like, we can't do that. Yeah. We can't watch all of them, rewatch all of them. So we're just doing the Three Mothers, man. I'm so excited to be talking about one of my favorite directors on my favorite week of the year, Robbie week. So there you go. Dario Argento.
It would have been a lot to watch all those. I was down for it, though, because we'll
do it one day,
Yeah, because I'd watched a bunch of them, but there was a few I hadn't watched, and I was like, man, it kind of your list was like perfect. So whenever we do it, that's got to be the list.
Nice.
But yeah, man, it's had to oblige you and do what you wanted for your birthday, man. But dude, I saw that full moon for a little horror. I found out that full moon movie. Like Don't Let Her In. The chapter 2 came out Thursday or Friday. I think it was Friday. But it's like weekly. So part 3 I think will be out next week. So that was cool. I was like, dude, when the hell are they gonna drop part 2? But weekly's not too bad. It's just weird. I wish they dropped the whole movie. It's pretty fun though. You should check it. Since
I still haven't watched. I haven't watched anything on that full moon service yet. At all.
I was doing a little dive. There's one that was supposed to be a Doctor Strange story that Charlie Band really wanted to do a Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah, it's the one with Jeffrey Combs, right?
Yeah. I watched that, and that's pretty good too.
I've never seen that. What's that called? It's like something with an M, right?
Dr. Mordred.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that was a fun one to check out. They got some good stuff. They got a lot of wonky stuff, but they got some cool stuff.
I mean, I'm just excited to eventually get that Puppet Master box set. That's
all.
Dude,
mine hasn't even shipped out yet.
Mine either, bro. They said it would take like a long time to ship, though. They did.
Did they? I didn't see.
Oh, yeah. They said it would take a while to ship. They also said that about my Grindhouse video Easter sale. I still haven't gotten my Easter Carnage stuff yet. It hasn't shipped at all. And if you follow Grindhouse on here on YouTube, J-Strick was showing me, like, this dude is weird. Like, they got a very small like storefront, and it's just like him and a couple like people like packaging up thousands and thousands of orders because it was like the most massive Aero sale. So maybe you were lucky by skipping out, because we still haven't even. It's nowhere close probably to ship.
That's something, man. They must be making some good money though.
Yeah, it's weird if you watch some of his live streams though. Like, he's got a lot of people like messaging him like, "Where's my movies? I want my money back," and that makes sense, right? But he seems to be taking it the wrong way. but he's also apparently like his mother recently passed. So he's going through a lot, and he did this huge sale for a very small store. I mean, obviously they had all these Arrow movies. I mean, dude, they had Society on Steelbook for $12.99. Weird Science Steelbook $12.99. Of course, you're gonna get thousands of freaking orders, man. You know what I'm saying? But they're working their way through. I know that people are getting them. If you like, they're doing it basically based on the day that you put in your order.
Yeah.
And me and Strick were towards the end when we put in our orders. And I know for a fact that some people in groups that I'm a part of have gotten theirs in because they've showed them off. So it'll happen.
Yeah. You'll get them.
There's some bangers in that one too, man. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm bummed I didn't even get my. I had thought I gotten the Society Steelbook off Hamilton, and then after I bought it, they were like, "We shipped everything but one because we currently don't have it in stock." I'm like, "Whoa, it's fucking in stock when I bought it," you know, like.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm worried. I'm worried about that with the Grindhouse order. Like, I'm worried that I'm going to get like, oh, by the way, we don't have the Weird Science, we don't have the stuff, we don't have Hills Have Eyes. Yeah, I'm worried that we're going to get some of those first come first serve, but we'll see what happens.
We'll see. I couldn't see those because they could probably get those still. You know, like you just might have to wait a little longer. Who knows? But yeah, hopefully that gets there all safe and sound to you. So, but yeah. So man. I know you've been dying to talk about this one. 1977's Suspiria.
Well, hold on. Do you have any horror news?
No, that was.
All right, I got something.
You got something?
Did you hear that Shudder is releasing the lost George A. Romero film?
Yeah.
The amusement park.
Yeah, I was sorry. I you know what? I told Fable. I read the news report when I was like on a FaceTime with Fable and TM.
Yeah.
But yeah, that long lost film. It sounds weird.
Are you a backlog bro now, bruh?
No.
Because you can't be on the crew and be a backlog bro.
Yeah. I don't know what's a backlog bro.
What the fuck's a backlog bro? I don't know. I'm super pumped, man. This was always that movie that we heard about. It's kind of like when you grew up and you'd always heard about the producer's cut of Halloween 6, right? We always heard about the amusement park, and I've seen a lot of Romero's films from this era, and I don't think they're his strongest films, like Season of the Witch. There's Always Vanilla. They're okay, and this is supposed to be pretty freaking good, but it's just about this dude at a amusement park, and if you watch the trailer, it looks absolutely freaking just weird. So yeah, I'm really pumped.
The synopsis sounded weird. I didn't watch the trailer, but
you should.
Does it seem like a horror movie, or is it just definitely not an old dude?
Well, no, it's definitely something about madness. There's some kind of psychological aspect to it. Yeah. You know, I don't know. I mean, it's obviously not a blood and guts horror film. He hadn't really done that to that point. I mean, you know, he tried to, after he did Night, he was trying to do different films. You know what I'm saying? Like, There's Always Vanilla is a completely different film. You know, so I mean, that's like a drama, like a romantic drama in a way, right? What's that?
I've never seen it.
I first saw it because it was like I don't remember if it was my Martin DVD, but I had one of my DVDs of one of the harder to find Romero films back in the day had that movie on it as well. But now I think they've both been released, or maybe it was Season of the Witch. I had the DVD of Season of the Witch, and I think it had There's Only Vanilla on there as like a bonus feature or something like that, right? So
yeah,
but I think Arrow has those out now. Somebody does. I saw them not too long ago. Sure. I thought about getting
not a Romero mope. I'd say a good amount of his stuff is out, and now they're
one thing that and this is because this is what's happening is that, and this usually happens when an artist passes, is that the estate now is making money. Right. And so, like, for instance, there's the Twilight of the Dead. You heard about that? Like, his treatment, his ideas for his next zombie film, Twilight of the Dead.
Never heard of that.
That is, yeah. Well, his wife and his son, they're getting it made. Like, they're going to get a script made, and they're going to make George A. Romero's Twilight of the Dead. And of course, Heavy Metal's been working with his son on some of the properties. So it seems like there's some stuff that George probably would have held on to. Is probably coming out. And it makes me wonder, is the amusement park truly a lost film like we always heard, or was it a film that Romero didn't want released? Do you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we'll see though.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to finally get me to get Shudder, by the way, homie. That's that. I mean, I was like, okay, sold, finally going to get it. And I'll watch Creep Show. Finally.
You are. Wow. Yeah, Burrito. I would say $6 for Shudder is definitely worth it. That's one of my constant ones. I always have Shudder. I love it. They got a lot of good stuff, and they always are putting new stuff on there like weekly. But that's something, man. That's something. Yeah, I'll have to definitely check it out. I am looking forward to it, but it does seem weird. But yeah. That we'll find out if it's one that he was trying to hide, because it might be bad. You know,
it might be. You never know.
It might be. Yeah, but yeah, that should be fun. That's something. I saw that lost footage. I was like, Jesus, that's something. But like you said, it seems like now the Sun is trying to pump out some of that content. It's got the comic out now.
It's the same thing that kind of Jack Kirby's son does. Jeremy, he does that Kirby box every month or something, and it's basically, and it's, you could look at it in a very cynical way and be like, oh, they're just trying to make money off of their father or whatever. But I think it's more like, in this world of everything going digital and anything can just be gone like that, like a service can just decide it's done. Like, I think it's good to preserve the work and the legacy. You know, and I think that's what he's trying to do. And the wife, Suzanne, I think that's what they're trying to do.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I could dig that.
Not at all. Exactly. That's why we buy physical media, man.
Right. It's just, it's going to be weird to see who directs his work, you know, unless his son plans to direct it. But
well, I don't think his son's ever directed anything. Maybe he has, but I'm not certain.
I doubt it.
Chris, right? His name's Chris. Chris
Maybe.
Romero.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But yeah. So, Dario Argento. I just got to get the Romero in. You know, there's a connection between Romero and Argento. We wouldn't have Dawn of the Dead without Argento, right? Or Two Evil Eyes.
You got that right.
I finally got to watch some of the Argento cut too. The music.
Isn't it good?
Yeah, the music's great.
Jay Strick watched it. He got his Blu-ray in, and he was like, bruh, you were right. I was like, yeah, I know. I know the Argento cut thing became a bit, but like that is a better version of that film, man.
I still didn't watch all of it. I fell asleep, but all I was just doing was bad because I've seen the movie, so I was just listening to the music, you know. But it was good. I liked it. I can't wait to watch all three of them because I want to do the comparison, you know.
We should do the Argento cut episode one day.
Yeah.
You know, people are waiting for that one.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, that would be a fun one. It would just be a bit.
It's just like a 2-hour bit.
2-hour bit.
We're used to it.
Yeah. Usually it's about an hour bit, you know, but between an hour, 2-hour show, or usually half of it's a bit anyways.
Yeah, right. Phenomenally. So.
Yeah. But yeah. So
by the way, there it is. There's mine.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude, I still haven't taken it off that board because it was actually really big pain in the ass.
Mine messed up. Mike's gonna have to re-glue mine together or something.
I wonder how much they are.
I'll ask Mike. I saw him earlier. They're not so expensive, but they're a little bit pricey. But we're coming up with what we think is a fair price point with shipping, and we'll definitely hook you up as well, man.
Yeah, people are gonna dig those. The PCP one is sick too. But so yeah, brother. Now this wasn't his first film, but this is one of Dario Argento's first few, wasn't it? Suspiria, 1977.
What? His first film? He had several films already under his belt because
he five.
Let's see. He did There had been Cat o' Nine Tails, Bird with Crystal Plumage, Four Flies on Grey Velvet, Deep Red. So at least 4. I can't think of what was in between. I think Suspiria is after Deep Red. Yeah. I think. But that movie right there, y'all, that's like my favorite horror movie of all time.
Yeah.
If you've never seen it, it is so freaking worth it. You have to.
Have you ever seen the remake?
I haven't watched the remake yet. I love the original cover, obviously, but I'm going to flip it over so people see the new artwork on this awesome Synapse edition of it. And they got a 4K of it as well. And the 4K cover looks amazing.
I've been trying to debate which I want to get, the 4K or just that.
If I had the option, I would have gotten 4K because that movie's so beautiful, bro.
Yeah. Oh, dude. The whole color palette of the whole, I mean, it's just shot so artistically beautiful. It is a great film. I'm not gonna lie. I do really like the remake too, though, man. I'll tell you that. But this one is great. It's got some of the creepiest aesthetics going for it. The music is like so incredible, man. It's so good. That's probably honestly that. I bet, damn dog. That's probably like my favorite thing in the whole freaking movie is the music, dude. The music and then like the aesthetic of all the sets that he has going on. It's just visually incredible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the first part. Now, when he did Suspiria, it is inspired by the idea of the three mothers, which is not an original Dario idea, right? It comes from Lavana and Our Ladies of Sorrow. It's from it's a section of Thomas de Quincey's book Profundo or Suspiria de Profundis or something like that, right? I think it means like deep sorrow or something like that. But I'm reading directly from Wikipedia now. It says the piece asserts that just as there are 3 fates and graces, there are also 3 sorrows. They include Mater Lacrimarum, Our Lady of Tears, Mother of Tears, Mater Suspiriorum, Our Lady of Sighs, Mater Tenebrarum, Our Lady of Darkness. The attribute of each woman, tears, sighs, shadows, and darkness, is a direct translation of her name from the Latin. And Mater, of course, means mother, right? So that's where Argento was inspired to do Suspiria. And obviously the name Suspiria comes from the name of that book, right?
Right.
And so the idea that, yeah, there's 3 fates, he mentions 3 muses and 3 graces, but there's 3 sorrows. There's an inversion of it, right? And it starts with this movie, and I honestly don't think he had any intention on doing more than one of these when he first did this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I don't think he had an intention on doing anything after Inferno. Right? Because it took forever for Mother of Tears to come out, but the fans have always demanded 3. We want this to be a trilogy, right? And it's there. The trilogy itself, and I'm just kind of touching overall at first, right? But like the trilogy itself is only Suspiria and Inferno feel truly connected stylistically, but Mother of Tears is the one that's the most connected as far as the narrative goes, because it does tie it all together and even adds new light to Suspiria.
It even has the guy from the first one, the doctor.
Udo Kier, right?
Udo Kier from Blade. He's in Blade. He gets his teeth ripped out.
Yeah, he's Dragon Eddie in Blade. I love that. I love it. You may wake up one day and find yourself extinct.
I'm looking at him. I'm like, holy shit. I was like, because I don't think I ever noticed that was him. And
I'm so glad that he's in Mother of Tears, because in Suspiria,
Me too.
he's dubbed like a motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
And Udo Kier has one of the most unique and distinctive acting voices I've ever heard.
Yeah.
You know, damn it, Frost, I'm talking to you. You would know if you are pure blood. Like, it's nice to see him get some. I don't think he plays the same character though, because he's a doctor in Suspiria, but he's like a priest in Mother of Tears. That's a missed opportunity, I think, to actually have him play the same damn character, right?
Yeah.
But as far as Suspiria,
Suspiria.
Yeah, Suspiria, this is why it works and why it's amazing. It's the feeling. Argento does not care as much as other fans, the audience, or other creators may, as far as the story. He doesn't care. He's not a plot directed guy.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
not at all.
He's trying to bring a feeling. He told John Carpenter that he has terrible nightmares and he keeps a dream journal, and that a lot of his movies contain scenes that are just straight up dreams of his. And Suspiria is actually kind of an experiment that he did where he wanted to, because Argento's like one of the kings of the whole giallo style. Okay. And you got Mario Bava and you got others. Fulci kind of comes in a little bit, and there are others that I don't even know their names, but that's the whole genre in and of itself. And Argento's one of the top dogs, but he takes that further with Suspiria, because what he does is he had told Carpenter that this movie in particular, like every scene was a dream, like some dream that he had. And the movie has a dreamlike quality. It's not so much about the story. The story is given to you in bits here and there and just really quickly. Like they don't even care. And if if you've never watched an Italian horror film and we're inspiring you to watch it because it's amazing and you really, really should, you got to get used to dubbing, because they didn't even record audio on these movies because they knew they would just dub it in a bunch of different languages to send all over Europe and across the world and to the States, right? So you got to get used to some things. But it's also, Italian horror feels so foreign to us as an American audience because it's dealing, the culture is a little bit different. What's accepted is a little bit different. Their idea of pace, what they'll tolerate in art, and the idea that they look more at film as art than we do as typical Americans, right? This isn't a popcorn movie. This is an art film, basically. But it evokes a feeling, and that's what Argento's trying to do, in particular with the first two films. And I think he does it masterfully well in Suspiria. It's my favorite horror movie for a reason. No film has a color palette like this one, except for people trying to ape on it, basically. No film has this dreamlike, ethereal quality to it quite like Suspiria has. No film shows horrendous murder in such a provocative and beautiful way, right? Like, honestly, every murder in this movie is beautiful. Even the dog ripping the throat out of the blind dude. Like, that's a beautiful scene because of the lights and the open space and the architecture and that music, the music by Goblin in that scene, Dylan, when you have the drums, dun, 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 and then you just have the vocals, and then the theme is like the best theme out there. I think it's better than the Halloween theme, and we all love the do 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 do, but the bum 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 bum. Which. I freaking love this film, bro. It's one of my favorites. I want to know what you like. Why is this film? What do you think about this film? Do you hold it in as much regard as I do? I know you respect it because, Dylan, you're the horror guy. You know, that's what we do, and you're like the king of horror here on YouTube right now in this community. So I just want to know, like, what am I stretching too far? What do you think?
Nah, you ain't stretching too far. One question. Is that Dario Argento who gets his throat taken out by the dog?
No.
It kind of looks like him now.
I don't know. It's not him though. It's not. I don't think
too tall.
I can't think of a single film in which he actually has a cameo in.
He doesn't do any cameos?
Yeah, he's not that kind of guy, man. Good. I think he understands that he's not necessarily a super good-looking guy, but at the same time, there is something incredibly striking about the way Argento looks. And for instance, this picture I'm about to show you here is going to be a like an earlier, image, but like you can tell that this is a dude that this dude's fucked up. He's a little twisted, and he's going to make some gnarly horror movies.
Right, without a doubt. That's early too.
Yeah, that's early because then he gets the short hair and stuff. But
yeah. But I think, you said it all and 10 times better. But I think his color palette is just fucking insane. I say there's only one other film that feels like as much of his dream as Suspiria. It's probably, you ever see The Keep?
No.
That movie feels like a complete dream the entire time too. But I forget. That's kind of like I think that's a Michael Mann film. It's
Oh,
worth
okay.
a watch. It's a kind of goofy one, but
Michael Mann has that dreamlike quality. In fact, the movie we covered last night on PCP Movie Night, Southland Tales, has that kind of dreamlike quality.
Yeah.
But this is like straight up nightmare, but and at the same time beautiful. And that color palette, everything is blue and pink, and like this the awesome combination of the two. There are some moments where it's very strikingly green. The way that Argento uses the score, and notice like in most of his films it says music by Goblin in collaboration with Dario Argento. Like he's involved.
Right. Yeah.
Like very much so in every bit of it. And it's just absolutely amazing. Goblin did a lot of his scores. This is the only one of these three movies that Goblin did. But the score this is one of the best. It's one of the best horror scores ever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's creepy as hell, man. Especially them. Man, it's a good one, without a doubt.
If you're not, yeah, okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say the kill scenes. He doesn't really do as many. Like he kind of stretches them throughout the movie in this one, but every time he does a kill scene, it's brutal, and it's like these scenes where you can feel like, especially that one with him walking the dog, you feel like the witches watching him from like a mile away too.
Yeah.
And they still just have the power to fuck his ass up, man.
Yeah. And if you're not familiar with the idea and the premise, is that there are these three witches that just represent evil, like these evil forces that have been behind a lot of society as they're collecting power. And they're three sisters. They're the three graces, they're the three muses, but they're also the three sorrows, the three mothers. And one is in Freiburg, Germany. That's Suspiria. Yeah. One is in New York. That's Inferno. And then one is in Rome. And that is the Mother of Tears. So
is it? Yeah, but I thought they go back and forth from New York to Rome.
That's in Inferno, because in Inferno, you actually see the Mother of Tears for the first time. Because she's the one in Inferno who's trying to get the brother all mystified at first at that music school.
Yeah.
Because she's wearing the hood. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same actor from Mother of Tears for obvious reasons. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. I like the differences from Inferno too and Suspiria. We'll talk about that though when we get to it. But yeah, because Suspiria, it's mainly just that one girl, It's different in the first one, and even the Mother of Tears, the way he knocks off the characters. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, the kills are gnarly as hell in this.
Dude, that first one, the first kill where the chick gets hung and gets her heart cut out, that's just. I remember the first time I watched that, and you're just and the way Argento moves the camera.
Yeah.
The way it's going, the glass falls on the one woman, the other woman gets her heart ripped out and then hung, and from the cord on the glass, the stained glass that she falls through, it's the most beautiful murder I've ever seen in a movie, man.
Yeah. It's crazy the way he does it, man. And then the way he'll pause, and he'll just be showing you that shit for a minute straight, and just zoom in, going from up and doing a back draw, where you're just focused on that fucking scene for a minute. You're you know what I'm saying? I think they say something like that in Search of Darkness, where he's instead of just quick framing it, he makes you look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's something they say about all of the Italian directors. And that's one of the things about the eye fetish that they sometimes will have, is that they're if you're going to watch this, if you really are saying, hey, please murder this woman, and I want it to be gnarly and gory, right? And that's what we want, right? We don't. How many times have we watched movie, Dylan, and we're both this just wasn't gory enough for me, right? They're okay, if you want to watch this, we're gonna make you fucking watch it. You're you gotta watch it, woo. And Suspiria is not as heavy, I think, as far as violence goes, as some of the other films he's done, for sure.
Definitely not.
No, but it definitely probably has more of a level of violence and and death and the body rent asunder than a lot of people are probably used to, I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
Depending on what they're into.
Like the end with her roommate, or the one that had the secrets, fucking the nails in her eyes.
Oh yeah,
and what was that? Those like steel nails through her hands or whatever.
Yeah, dude, the scene that always gets Jelani, even though you can tell it's not real razor wire, but that razor wire scene, like, dude, just the thought of that's like, dude, that's so messed up. Like, imagine a ball pit. We know when we were kids how fun ball pits were. Imagine if you fell in one filled with razor wire.
Right, man. She thought she was out of there too. That shit was messed up.
She was so excited, and she's so dumb in that scene. If you notice, when she's stacking all that stuff, because she has to get through that tiny window, right? And she's stacking all all this luggage, right? And she literally puts the tiniest one on the bottom, bruh. Yeah, and then it falls, and you're just like, of course, you dumb motherfucker. Like, what's wrong with you? And I think that's great, though. That's one of those dream things, Like, I have this recurring dream where I'm trying to play baseball. And I'm in a big game, and every time I think I got it, and I'm about to knock the ball and drive the run home, the bat just falls apart and goes like flaccid. Like, it's weird. It's probably saying too much about myself. Maybe I feel like I'm impotent. I'm not, but I'm just saying, like this idea of like trying so hard to get, like that is maybe it's something dumb that the character does. But it does bring about that feeling of anxiety when you have this dream where you're like, I can't get it. Like the ladder rungs keep breaking, or the bat keeps breaking, or something. You know what I'm saying? That kind of a thing.
Yeah, I hear you, man. My bad. Yeah, there's some good stuff. There's some phenomenal stuff going on for it, no doubt. It's a good ending too. I almost wish it would pick up in Inferno and just her being gut by some other witches,
Oh, you want to see them come after her, like revenge? Yeah. This is for our sister. Yeah, you never see it, and it's rather anticlimactic. Like the ending is. It's not anticlimactic, I don't think, but it's abrupt and sudden. Like, all of a sudden,
right?
Here's what's really happening, and the movie's over. Like, the confrontation is so quick.
Easily. Yeah.
They do that in all of these films, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like in all three of these, even in Mother of Tears, which I feel like does a better job of making the witch feel like a presence the entire time. Now, you feel an evil presence in this movie, but you're not really getting quite what's going on until you get to the end of this film.
Yeah. I tell you, the witch that they do in the remake for the main witch in this one.
It's Tilda Swinton, right?
It's fucking creepy. She plays one of the witches, but there's a higher up. And it's still, like the old deformed one. You know what I'm saying? Marcus.
Okay.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Marca or Marta, something like that.
Yeah, she's fucked. I mean, she's fucked up in both of them, but in the remake, they like really go for it. It's something, bro. Wait till you watch that. I think your girl has seen it, so she'll have to tell.
I think she just said that she hasn't. I've heard, Jamie, that it's not quite like the old one, that it's kind of a reinterpretation of it.
Yeah.
But I hear it's good, and it also should have good music, because I've listened to that score, because it's Tom York from Radiohead. The music's really good in it, but I've not seen it.
I feel like they almost focus on the dancing a little bit more. Like,
and they do focus on the dancing a lot in this movie. I think one of the missed opportunities is I think they should have all been the head of a school. Like, for the longest time, I thought that was the case because of Inferno. The one lady's talking to her brother, who winds up being. There's not really. Inferno's weird. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. But it's weird because there's not so much a threat of a main character in that one like there is in Suspiria. or
Well,
Mother
that's
of
what I was
Tears.
gonna say. But so let's get to the rating and then we'll
Let's
jump
do it.
into Inferno. So I have no doubt what you're gonna score this, but anyone in the chat who's seen the original Dario Argento Suspiria, put your rating of 1 through 5 down below. Robbie, what is your rating though for it?
5 you digs. This is a perfect movie, in my opinion. Everything. The directing, the acting is sincere. The dubbing is off, but that is just exactly what Italian films were like. You know what I'm saying? So you could fault it, knock it down for some cheesy factors, some aging or whatever. But for me, this is a perfect movie. It captures a feeling. It's got beautiful, brilliantly beautiful cinematography. It's got an amazing core of an idea. The way that Argento is able to make a movie that is truly terrifying, but it's because it's more unnerving and unsettling on a very subconscious level. That music, it's one of the best scores I've ever heard. It works so well in conjunction with the visuals, with the pacing, with the flow, with the lyrical flow of the movie, with the color of the movie. It's just absolutely fantastic. And I could literally watch it once a week for the rest of my life and never get bored with this film. I always find it incredibly fascinating. 5 you digs, 5 slips, 5 backlogs.
For sure, brother, for sure. Yeah, it is a good one. It definitely it's unlike anything I've honestly ever really seen. And I don't think there's anything else like it too. The story, is a little wonky, but that's always how it is, I feel like, in Italian films, But that's also the charm to it. I actually think the dubbing isn't too bad on it too. It's
This is
pretty
one of the
damn,
better ones.
it's one of the better ones, no doubt. I thought it was pretty damn good. I guess I'm gonna give it a 5. I was debating 4, 5, or 5, but it is like the freaking king of all Italian horror films. I feel like Suspiria and The Beyond are the 2 biggest ones of all time to fans, like cult status wise. Suspiria and The Beyond, and Zombie. Though that would be the top 3. Those would be the 3 big dogs, I think. But yeah,
Demons.
definitely. Dude, that damn fucking Goblin soundtrack just gets a 5. You know what I mean?
Witch. Top 3 witches. And it's
one.
Goblin, like, eventually, like, they kind of Claudio split from Goblin, so you can actually find Claudio touring and Goblin touring still at times. It's really interesting, but like Claudio was the leader of Goblin, and he was the guy who played the synthesizers. The synthesizer work in this shit is amazing. And if you're not aware, Goblin's kind of like a prog rock band, but like all you got to do, like, just listening to the soundtrack is almost a creepy experience for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? What's up, No Good? Up to no good.
It's great, man.
I freaking love this movie.
In 1980, he comes out with Inferno. Now, the first thing I'd say with this is there is like every time he does like the psycho bit, but like times 3, where you think you got a main character and he just whacks him. Then you think you got a new main character, then he whacks him. And then you think you got another new main character, and she gets whacked. And then you finally get the last character in the movie become the main character, and he finally, makes it out, I guess. But it's got one of the coolest scenes ever in like horror history. That damn underwater scene with the like literally an underwater, set dressing. I've never seen anything like it. And then when the damn monster, the dead body comes out of left field, that shit. I sent a picture of that to Scarpat, and he's like, "What is that? Some jungle, like some jungle cannibal movie?" I'm like, "No, it's an Inferno."
It is Italian, though.
Yeah, it's
to be
right
fair.
up there. Yeah, right. But
that's a great scene, man, because it's so
my favorite.
As they said, and somebody said in the In Search of Darkness Part 2, it feels impossibly long. Like, you are holding your breath with this woman. She's like, so she's trying to, she finds the book, The Three Mothers, the book that Udo Kier talks about in Suspiria. Right. And she's like, I think the woman at this apartment building is a
weird stench.
Yeah, right. There's the smell. The book describes the smell. She's curious, and her dumb ass is going to go and see this tiny ass little hole with a bunch of water, and that's where like the rest of the apartment building is. So there's like whole entire floors that are flooded, and this dumb woman's going to just like go up in there, and then be surprised when she can't find her way. It's like impossibly freaking long. It's like that scene, the only good scene in Alien Resurrection, when they're swimming and trying to get to the other part of the ship or whatever. And it's like the best version of that kind of a scene. You are right on the money. And it starts with that, and it's beautiful, and it's got those colors. This aesthetically is very close to Suspiria, but it's not quite.
It's more blue lighting than the pink lighting, and Suspiria is more red, reddish, like pink. And this is a lot more blue with like pink aftertones, I feel like, I
wonder if that's intentional, meaning like the influence of which mother it is, that this is.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, like the mother of sighs, the mother of sorrow, Suspiria, Mantra Suspiriorum from the first one. She is what they say the oldest and the wisest, but Mater Tenebrarum is the mother of darkness, and she's the youngest and the most cruel.
Yeah.
Didn't
they say she's the prettiest and the most cruel or something?
No, the prettiest and the most powerful is the Mother of Tears.
Mother of Tears, okay.
That's why every time you see her, she's bug ass naked, man.
Yeah. Right. That makes more sense.
If you got it, flaunt it. That's what Mel Brooks said, right? So.
Right. Yeah, without a doubt.
This movie, Inferno, is not as effective, but it is effective in parts. And it is a bit more jarring because of what you were saying, where it doesn't follow one person all the way through. It does follow a thread, and it gets back to the architecture is a big part of this whole thing too. The dance studio looks amazing. The architecture is amazing. The apartment building, and then of course there's another place that we see in Mother of Tears, and the whole idea of the architect that was coerced into building these. We see him. It's in this movie, right? Where we find like he's the old guy. That's in this movie, right? Or is that in Mother of Tears? The old guy who winds up being the architect.
There's
the old guy.
Yeah, the old guy on the crutches.
Yeah, is that this one? There's a lot, by the way, there's a lot of like crazy scenes with cats and shit.
The old guy on the crutches that drowns the cats in this one.
Yeah, I think it's a Mother of Tears. Yeah, Mother of Tears. We actually meet the architect. He's the very old guy that I think they kill because he has him and the other dude get chopped up by that bald guy. Yeah, that's in Mother of Tears. Anyway, Inferno. I like Inferno. The other thing about Inferno is the music. This thing is operatic. Right? Yeah. Like Suspiria is kind of subtle and dreamlike. Totally this one is just like it's an opera, right? Yeah. And Keith Emerson does the soundtrack, and it is amazing. And that finale song where it's like bum bum Suspiriorum Tenebrarum like it's freaking dun 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 dun. This movie is a little bit more forceful. It's a little bit more kind of trying to be in your face. It's bigger too. Yeah,
he's got some hits under his belt at this time, and he's got more money. You can see in those sets, man. I mean, they're just
absolutely. It is one of the most Argento films you'll ever see.
Suspiria, the kills are drawn out, where you get one in the beginning, one midway through, and then get two towards the end. But this one, the kills are just left and right. You know what I'm saying? With them knocking off every time you switch to a character, they're just getting murdered. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
this one, he's definitely going for it. He's going all for it, and
it's also the one where they really start trying to tie it together. With the idea that so we've had one witch. Now we're going to deal with another. Yeah. They actually deal with two. You see the Mother of Tears and the Mother of Darkness here. So you see both of them, and they tie it once again because it's alluded to in Suspiria. There's a line of dialogue, but in this one, At the end, the witch, she goes, "I am death," and literally goes into a mirror. The mirror breaks, and there's the grim fucking Reaper. This is coming at. But then once again, very quick and abrupt. And just like Suspiria, everything bursts into flames, and the dude escapes, and movie's over. Right, but I love this movie too. I think it's really, really good. It's not as strong as Suspiria. I can listen to this soundtrack all the time. I can watch this movie at least once a month for the rest of my life.
Yeah. It's a good one. I really do. I really like it a lot. I think it has a lot of good things going for it. I think the atmosphere is there just as much as Suspiria, except I think this has darker tones at times. I mean, dude, they got the whole scene with him drowning the cats, and then he gets his shit. You know what I'm saying? He gets his shit eaten up.
Yeah. But there's a lot of animal cruelty in this one.
Yeah.
Argento and others like him, especially in the Italian, they want to show something that they're not supposed to, or that you don't want to see. And usually it involves animals and sometimes children. We'll talk about that later, obviously.
The children one, bro, for the next one, that's so fucked up.
Yeah, but it's nice to see a guy that tries to drown a bunch of cats get got.
That's right. Nice. Get his in the end. Yeah, that's messed up, man. But yeah, I do enjoy it. I think it's a great film. I think soundtrack, or atmosphere is great. I love the blue contrast in the colors. I like that it feels like that same atmosphere, but with the colors, it's different, but it feels kind of like you said, where they're starting to make it connect.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the third one don't connect as much because it feels so much newer too. You know what I mean? But like you said, though, story-wise, it connects the most. But
it was done 30 years later. And Argento, kind of after Inferno, he doesn't do movies like this anymore. Like Suspiria and Inferno are kind of the only ones that feel like this. Now, he's got amazing cinematography, brilliant camera movement in all of his films. And Tenebrae and Phenomena and Deep Red and all of his earlier ones, the Giallo stuff, like all those are very strong. Opera, but none of them are like these two films. It ends here. Like there's the atmosphere, the way that these are so cerebral and dreamlike and fluid and ethereal. Like these are the two, and Inferno is a little bit of a reflection of Suspiria, right? If Suspiria is, as above, Inferno is as below. You know what I'm saying? So, if that makes sense.
I hear it. Well, you want to get on a rating on this one?
Yeah, man.
Anything else you want to say on it?
I mean, just the fact that I love the music. I do like this film. I think it's bold. I think it's
a great film. I was going to say, I love the film too, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I love the film. I think it's great. I would rate it. I would give this one a 4. I don't think it holds together as well as Suspiria does. Okay. That's the only thing, is that it doesn't, it's weird to say that it doesn't feel as connected or as through of a film, like as a narrative, as tightly structured as Suspiria, because Suspiria is not necessarily a tightly structured movie, but I guess it actually is. This one is kind of more all over the place. The way that they're changing perspectives over and over. The way that all it is a Scooby. It's just a Scooby-Doo mystery, and there's not a lot of character work that's being done. In Suspiria, there was a little bit more character work, I think. And this one, you could say that you could argue there's some character work. You could also argue that Argento doesn't care about characters. He cares about the feeling. This does have that nightmarish, dreamlike situation going on and feeling and vibe and tone, but it's not quite there. But it is there enough. 4 you digs to me is an incredibly great rating, a solid A. So that's what I'll give Inferno. 4 you digs. 4 slips.
For sure. I probably agree with you on a 4. It's a solid. I could almost give it a 4 or 5. I'm gonna give it a 4 though, because it's not, you know, it isn't as straightforward like you said, kind of with Suspiria. Even though I enjoy the knockoffs, um, because I think it kind of keeps you tense the whole time. You don't know, but once you've seen, like, your first couple times watching it, you're like, you know, you're so tense because every time you're calmed down, thinking this is your main character and they're gonna make it through it, they get knocked the hell out, you know. So I think it just with all his music, man, it keeps you like you got like a pit in your stomach when you're watching his movies and listening to the music. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to just really I think that's why him and John Carpenter are so alike in so many ways, because they do everything on their films, and you know, right at the forefront of their music. You know, they're true artists of their craft.
They are, and you know, Argento comes from an artistic and cinematic family. His dad was a big producer of films, right? His dad produced a lot of the spaghetti westerns that we know. In fact, one of Dario Argento's very first projects was he wrote the script for Once Upon a Time in the West, the Sergio Leone movie. And that's Dario Argento, you know, like it's just fan-freaking-tastic creative mind that gets a bit weird at times. And you know me, I love it, man. I think 4 is a solid rating for this one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
what's up, Mark Station? That's Mark from Geeks Unleashed. Everybody check him out.
Station, my brother. Yeah, I know he's got the badass Castle Grayskull. But yeah, so that's a good rating. That's a good rating. So Mother of Tears, what is that? 2007. 7?
2007.
Is it 7? Oh shoot. Yeah, so this comes out. And this is a little bit more of that up in the alley of Inferno, where you think you got a main character, and then, you know, he gets knocked off, and then you get a couple girls and you think they might be the main characters. They get knocked off as soon as they touch the box, but one of them survives. But that one cheated, that fucking whatever he smashes in her mouth, you know, there's some of that CGI.
That's messed up. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you're nailing it.
Little CGI horror, which, you know, and it does not feel in the atmosphere of a Dario Argento film. But like you said, it really is just those first 2 films. But you kind of expect that going into the trilogy, you know, this being the ending.
Well, and it is late stage Argento. Like Argento eventually hit a point where it was either softcore pornography or just like as gory as hell. Like some of these, it is sad to say this, but some of our favorite directors, their talent, it seems, diminishes a little bit towards the later stage of their career, right? Yeah. And a lot of it is because a lot of our most respected creators, say Romero, Argento, even Carpenter, struggle to get their movies funded, you know, to actually get them realized. And Mother of Tears was something that took forever to happen. And this is, you know, that's a dimension extreme. So you know what that means. It means it's got some CG gore, but like you said, it's got some practical effects that are
practical. At least it's not all CG. That would have really bummed me out. So there is some good gore in it, definitely. A lot of creepy atmosphere, but you know, some of that is the CGI, blood, CGI jump scares. But it has, what is that? I forget her name, but
Asia Argento.
Is that her? That's the main girl?
Yeah, that's his daughter.
Wow. No way. I never knew that.
I'm pretty sure that's her actual mom too. That's playing her mother, the spirit that's contacting her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and she's the lady that she's in a lot of Argento's movies, and she was the co-writer of a few of them, and she's the one that gets her eye shot out through the peephole in Opera. She's the one that gets killed by the cats in Inferno.
Yeah. Ooh, wow. Yeah, I didn't know that was her, man, because I remember her. She was in the original XXX with Vin Diesel, and
Land of the Dead
character. Yeah, Land of the Dead too. But yeah, I think I like her in this. She's the best part of the movie, honestly, you know. And she finally ends up. You think her husband might be the main character, and then he, you know, you think he gets knocked off, but he doesn't really. I don't think so. Or then he comes back, but yeah, I think she's a pretty good, you know, character. I don't have too much to say about the movie. There's not really. I didn't really notice too much music. You know,
It's got that operatic music. It's got like the choral stuff, like the whoa,
yeah.
whoa. Like I do like the music.
Big or bombastic though as the first two. You know, it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't big enough to where I was really noticing it. But I do kind of want to rewatch it before bed. Honestly, I don't know.
I like the film enough.
I don't think it's bad. I just think it's, you know, for
I thought so. The music, by the way, is by Claudio Simonetti, which is
like a 5 out of 10. Like if I was giving it out of a 10 score, I'd give it like a 5 out of 10.
The music is Claudio Simonetti, though, who is the guy from Goblin, and you can hear that because you hear his voice go Mater, like that's what you'll know. Like if you remember, you hear Mater, and then there's a lot of like operatic choral type stuff. So I really like the music in the film. I think that, like I said, this is late stage Argento. Okay. Right. It's more focused on gore. It's less focused on atmosphere. And the atmosphere it is focused on is something that, okay, when Argento's style at first, it still has a dreamlike quality because of the way he moves the camera. But like basically when he started with Tenebrae, he got really obsessed with trying to capture realism. Okay. Yeah, right. And that really influenced his films in the 80s and early 90s. And then, like I said, he kind of just goes softcore pornography. Like, I mean, Dracula 3D, I haven't seen that one still, but I'll watch it soon. But like his Phantom of the Opera movie, I mean, that's just like Cinemax After Dark. Like, and yes, Ozzy is in that one too. It's a little weird when you think about her father directing that one. But that's Argento. And there's some interesting documentaries and things that you can find out there and interviews about him as a creator, as a visionary, and as a person. But Mother of Tears is basically fan service, meaning that we wanted to see the trilogy wrap up. We wanted to see the final witch. We wanted to see the Mother of Tears in her own story. And that's what you get here. It's got a very average run-of-the-mill story. They do this thing, though, where like most part threes do, and they poke fun at this in Scream 3, which I think is a terrible movie, but I think almost part of the reason why it's a terrible movie is because they're making fun of part threes, which always add new information to the first movie. And in this one, it was that Azia's character, her mother was a white witch. So now Argento's bringing in the idea that there are good witches, okay? Right. Because in all these other two movies, they literally are death and evil and cruelty, right? And they've apparently been responsible for many of the woes of the world over the last several hundred years. And in this one, you have an opposing good force, and her mother went and actually almost killed the mother of sorrow, the mother of sighs, the Mater Suspiriorum. And that's why she's wounded. So we at least that's cool to see a connection like that, right? And then they actually show the house. They have the Mother of Tears. She's been in like slumber, basically, since her two sisters got killed. And then they find this grave, this casket that has this like box with it. And inside of it is this little tunic. Yeah. That's her power. So it brings her back and she starts driving everybody mad. They say, remember that she's the most beautiful, but also the most powerful. She is literally causing everybody in Rome to act the fuck up, man. Yeah. Like they're like killing each other. That woman throws her baby off the bridge. Yeah. And, like Argento, it would have been enough just to have the baby thrown off the bridge, but the baby hits its head on the ledge. You know what I'm saying? You got the one dude's kid gets ripped up and they're eating them and just like, bruh, this is messed up. So that stuff sticks with you, but not in a way like anything from Inferno or Suspiria does. The first time I watched this movie, my sister Debbie watched it with me and Jelani, and the moment that the woman gets impaled through her vagina and out her throat, my sister was as kind as could be, but she just goes, all right, well, I got things to do, so I better go. So she didn't even make it to the end of the movie, where the hero finally makes it through the movie, and guess what? She has to crawl through like decomposed bodies and shit. Like literally. And then the dumbest ending, they get up top and they just laugh and the movie's over.
Yeah,
It's so stupid. So it's not a good film. These films diminish in quality. But I think it's one of the stronger, like later films of Argento.
It's really not bad. I'm honestly, I'm gonna buy it because I do want it. I wish that they would do like a synopsis, but if I have to get that Dimension Extreme, I still want it because it is worth it to own. It's not that bad, you know. I think it does have a lot of good things going for it, and it might be better on a rewatch. You know, I told you I was kind of zoning out on that one, but every time the horror stuff came up, my eyes would fucking pop because I was like, oh, you know, and this is what I'm here for, you know. But there was some good stuff going for it. You know, this is when he gets more American as well too. So you know, his little pacing problems here and there, but the horror is still there, and I feel like, you know, you could tighten this up a little bit and it'd be a lot better, I think. But I think it does have a lot of good things going for it.
It is nice to have Udo Kier back in like you were mentioning. That's a great scene.
It's just
like,
I was so happy for that.
This movie has a problem when in like every scene, every motivation for each character in each scene is to get to the next expert to explain more of the story. So that's the problem with the narrative, is that it's literally, that's what drives the story. Oh, let's go talk to this guy. Oh, he's dead. Let's go talk to this guy. Oh, he's dead. Let's go talk to this guy. Oh, he's dead. Now we have all the information. Now we'll confront the witch. And by the way, she is the most beautiful of the three. They didn't lie about that, right? And I like her henchmen. They're doing gnarly things. She got limbs ripped open. That's the problem. And to address what Mark is saying here, it's not that horror franchises struggle with funding. What happens is that horror directors like Argento, who should be allowed to pretty much do what they want to do, get pigeonholed into certain things. I guarantee you he had to put a certain amount of over-the-top gore because this is a Dimension Extreme. And Dylan, you remember this era. It's the post-Hostel Saw wave, you know, where everything had to be like extreme and to the ridiculousness of everything, you know, like to the discredit of the film. Maybe Argento wanted to make a more cerebral film, but maybe he couldn't. And that's something that a lot of these directors struggle with, because I think the problem is this, and this is why it happens. Horror movies are cheap to make and they make a lot of money, especially when you're in the middle of a horror wave like the 80s. Like, you make these movies for like less than $1 million and they make like 40 million. They're not blockbusters, but they're very much successes, right? But then you run into studios that just want that cookie cutter slasher movie. Look at the 80s. Look at how many Friday the 13th we got. How many Halloweens, like not meaning how many of that franchise, but how many movies that were just carbon copies of those movies that we may love because they have cool kills or great music. But honestly, they're all just copies of each other. Right. And that's what happens. If you are a director who's truly visionary, who wants to make a movie that's not, and first of all, some of these directors don't want to continue making horror films. They just get pigeonholed to do it. Carpenter never wanted to be known as a horror director, and he's not. He's the most versatile out of all of the quote unquote masters of horror. You know what I'm saying? Argento only ever had the chance to make these movies, but I also honestly think these are the kind of movies he wanted to make. I'm rambling and ranting, but I think that's what happens. That's
what I want to hear. Is you ramble and rant.
Well, I think that's what's happening, is that Argento is given money to make this movie finally, but they have kind of like, we want to see, you got to push everything ahead. You got to move it forward. Plus, remember, this is the Masters of Horror era from Showtime, where part of that whole joy of that show is that Argento and Landis and Carpenter and Coscarelli and all the others, Garris, like all of them are trying to outdo each other. You know what I'm saying? So maybe there's a little bit of that in there too. So, but it's not, it's a shadow of Suspiria. It's not even it's a shadow of Inferno, and it is nowhere close to Suspiria, but it's still a solid movie, I think, for the later stage of Argento's career.
Yeah, I agree. what do you think of all the since we're at Three Mothers? What do you think of the series like as a whole? Like
As
as a
a
whole,
whole,
storytelling and just kind of background on witches, because I love that he's got this trilogy about witches. It doesn't get done much, but
I
I
love
love
it.
his take on witches. It's so fascinating. I wish we could have gotten like 6 of these at least, and just get deeper into the lore and everything with the witches.
Yeah. I love thematic trilogies. I love films that are tied together thematically. This
Yeah.
one, for instance, he has 2 trilogies that he's known for. The first is the Animal Trilogy. It's his first 3 films. The only thing that ties them together is that there's the name of an animal in each of the movies. Bird with crystal plumage, cat of 9 tails, poor flies on gray velvet, right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing that ties those together, aside from just the fact that they're masterful giallo films,
Yeah.
which is just the Italian word for yellow, which just means like murder, death, genre film. Giallo just means Italian genre film. And so with this one, I like it that there is something that ties it together narratively.
Yeah.
But I love that it's an idea that is rich in complexity, but it's not presented in a complex way. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think it's presented in a more abstract way. It's not something that's all super structured and tied together to tell you one grandiose story. It's just telling you the story of these 3 evil forces, which happen to be women, but we could get into all of that about Dario. But I think he's a brilliant film director. I do not think that these are his 3 strongest films, but I do think Suspiria is his strongest film and one of his 3 best films. I don't think Inferno and Mother of Tears. What?
There's a film you like that he's done more than Suspiria?
No, Suspiria is the one I like the most. But what I'm saying is that a lot more of his films are better than these 2, is what I'm saying. As much as I love Inferno, Bird with Crystal Plumage, Deep Red, Tenebrae, Opera, those movies are so much better. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's a great trilogy, and it's nice to see a lot more of the what it mostly does is it adds a richness to Suspiria, and I think that's what's so great about Inferno. And he produced Demons. He didn't direct it. Lamberto Bava directed it.
Yeah, it was like a Argento Presents.
Yeah, he produced it. But what I like about Mother of Tears and Inferno and the whole trilogy as a whole is that it adds more dimension to Suspiria, to us fans. Do you get what I'm saying? It adds now when you watch Suspiria, you remember the best parts of the other ones, and you fill out the whole rest of the story. I'd like to see. I know that the Suspiria remake did decent enough, but I would like to see this whole idea explored further.
It was an Amazon Prime. It was an Amazon Prime original, so it was.
Yeah, well, it took a while for them to get it distributed, and Amazon's the one that picked it up.
Was it? It's a good dude. I honestly love it. I love it.
I need to watch it, but that's what I like about it, bro. Is it just adds so much more, many more layers.
That one's for the fans. That one's. I mean, he. I don't think he came back doing that. I think that was one. Like you said, the fans wanted a trilogy, and they wanted that third mother. They wanted these 3 mothers. So I think that it took 20 plus years to get that one made. So.
Oh yeah, bro. I waited so long for this movie. I was so hyped when it came out. And that's why my sister, she was like, oh, this is that movie series you really like. You've been waiting on this movie. I'll watch it. I even told her, I was like, this movie's going to be too much for you. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, I can handle it.
Yeah, right. That's too funny.
Even when I watched it with Jamie, it was her first time watching it. There were moments where Jamie was just like, well, that was a bit much.
Right. That's Argento for you. But that's why we love him.
Hell yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that I enjoy it as a whole. I think this is my first time watching all 3 of them. So I've always just watched the first 2. I love the first 2. I adore watching the first 2 back to back. But now I definitely will be checking the third one out a little bit more because I want almost study these films, bro, just to kind of get an essence of the background more, you know.
Yeah.
So I will probably be going back and watching the third one because I feel like the third one's gonna give you more answers on some of that stuff. But we'll see. But what do you want to do on the rating for this, my brother?
For this one, I'll give it 3, you digs. And I think that's being actually very gracious with it because I'm such a fan of Argento. I'm such a fan of Suspiria and anything that adds, you know, extra layers and dimensions to it. So I'll give it a 3 because I am a horror fan. That's why we're here, right, Dylan? And this is not the greatest, but it's not the worst. It has a lot of things that work for it. It's a lot of things that don't work for it. But overall, I enjoy it. And I will, if I can watch Suspiria every day for the rest of my life, each week, I could watch that like each week. I could watch Inferno once a month. This one, I could do once a year. And for me, that's pretty solid. It's mostly because of my love of Argento. I think it's a pretty solid film. And I think it's his best in the autumn of his career, if you want to call it that. But towards his last several movies, this is by far, from Phantom of the Opera and onward, post-trauma, I would say that this is his best film in that later period. Yeah. So I'll give it 3 slips.
For sure. I'm gonna agree with you on that, and I'm gonna give it 3 slips as well. And it looks like Jamie gave it 3, and Big Home gave it 3.5, and TM said 4.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3 as well, bro. It's one it's one that I won't hate to rewatch, but it's like you said, I ain't gonna rewatch it once a week or every month, maybe once every couple years, you know?
Yeah, right.
But it's not a terrible.
But you can listen to the soundtrack of all 3 of these, and I encourage you, Dylan, since you didn't really pick up on it that much when you were zoning through it. Like, just listen to the soundtrack on its own; it's really good.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna. I actually probably will throw it on.
It's like it's a good balance between the two because Claudio is, of course, the leader of Goblin for Suspiria, and then Keith comes in to do Inferno, and it's much more operatic. And then what Claudio does in Mother of Tears is he does like a balance between the two, I think.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. It was just I just didn't feel like it was so big, you know, as the other 2 are, but maybe I just had the volume turned down a little low on it, you know. Sometimes when I got the fan going, I gotta have my shit up really high to really get the whole feel.
Plus the dog, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so that concludes the review for the Dario Argento films. Next week, Station My Brother. Oh, that gives it a average score of, you know, 4.69, dude.
69, dude. But, by the way, we had the same ratings again, just like we did for Eli Roth.
Yeah, we did. Man, well, they're no-brainers. There's no-brainers this week. That was light work.
Yeah, it was.
It was definitely light work for those first 2. The only one that was hard to find was Mother of Tears. Give me 1 second. Let me let this dog out. Next week, me and Robbie will be reviewing Larry Cohen's The Stuff. So that should be a lot of fun. Let me let this dog out real quick.
I am so excited to talk about The Stuff next week. That's a great film. And you out there, if you want to know where to find it, you can stream it. If you're an Amazon Prime member here in the States, it's available. Watch it. It may even be on Tubi. I don't know. But The Stuff is worth it, my friends. Still waiting on mine from that Grindhouse sale.
That's why I was like, thank God at least they got it on Amazon Prime. So it's easy to watch. And is on, if you don't got Prime, I'm like 90% sure it's on Tubi as well. So I actually have not watch this disc yet, so I'm gonna be excited to pop
nice. That in. Let us know about the transfer, young man.
I will do. I think it's a nice little 2K. Yeah, 2K scan of the original camera negative. So
nice. Arrow does a great job with their stuff, dude. I just watched their Southland Tales they did this week, bruh. It's gorgeous. Like they do amazing work, dude. The Mallrats was the same way. I watched that the week before. Like even on movies like Mallrats, just look amazing, man.
I gotta get Mallrats. The everything I've watched, the Hellraisers look incredible. What were the other ones that I've seen? Vamp is good. What the fuck was the other?
It makes me want to get their Donnie Darko now because I never felt the need to upgrade, but that alone will probably be worth upgrading.
Yeah.
And they just released a 4K, didn't they? Or they're about to.
Yeah, yeah. Bride of Reanimator and Reanimator both look incredible. They're 2K or their
Reanimator looks great.
Bride of Reanimator, because I don't think you have the arrow for that one. That looks really good too.
Allegedly, it's on the way, but we'll see if it actually gets here. The tracking's been doing some weird, funky stuff with that one. It's a Region B though, but
mine is too. But it plays in my American Player.
Awesome.
yeah. I know that was clutch. So show and tell. You got anything this week, my brother?
Bro, you know I do. It's Robbie week, man.
I've
been doing this all week, so let me just once again brag about my girlfriend Jamie. She has gotten me a bunch of fantastic movies, and she's hidden them in my apartment. And each morning she gives me. Thank you. And each morning she gives me a clue, and I have to go find the movie. So I'm going to share some of those, but first, I already got my gifts from John Hammertime Holshoe. Speaking of Arrow, I got the RoboCop.
Sweet. I want that one so bad.
And he got me the Scream of RoboCop 2.
Yeah. I heard the third comes with the slip.
And he got me RoboCop 3 with the slip. So it does, man. And he wasn't even done with that.
I want all three of those so bad too.
He also got me the RoboCop action figure.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So John, station to John.
John.
These are all the movies that I have found once a day in my house through clues from my girlfriend, Jamie. They Live, Scream Factory. Finally got that one. 2 away from all John Carpenter films.
Dude, you're beating me.
Teen Wolf with the slip.
That's a good one to have, bro.
Just dropped out of. It's hard to. Getting a little hard to find.
I think it is. Yeah, it's not on Amazon right now.
The Hammer Films Phantom of the Opera with the slip.
Have you seen that?
Yes.
You like that one?
It's fucking weird, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, I like it though. I got Creepshow 3. I mean, my bad. Sir. Tales from the Dark Side, the movie with the slip.
Well, you know when we do our Creepshow review, that's going to be in there.
Let's do it. Serpent and the Rainbow.
Or we could just do that as one film if you want. Oh yeah.
Serpent of the Rainbow. Yeah. And here's the movie of today. And I cannot believe how amazing my girlfriend is. Lucio Fulci's Don't Torture a Duckling, the Arrow edition, y'all. This. Y'all need to watch this. Y'all think zombie and all that stuff's crazy? This is a different level of Fulci. This is good stuff. This is, I think, rather sophisticated. Anyway, that's what I got. So, just throwing them all over the place here.
Nice. That's some good stuff.
I'm looking forward to more. I got another movie to find tomorrow, and I wonder what it is. I'm excited.
Yeah, you got 2 more.
I got 1 more movie because she got 7, but then there's Robbie Week leading to Robbie Day. So Robbie Day is Monday, and we're all doing a big stream, and I hope you can join us, Dylan. And
I hope so too.
We're starting at 7 p.m. Central Time. That's 8 your time, but the Excitable crew's coming in at 9 your time.
When I come in?
No, you can come in whenever you want.
Okay, that'll help because I thought I had to come at like 9. So if I come in
come
earlier,
yeah.
I gotta be up early. So
I'm sure the Bad Batch won't mind.
I don't think anyone will mind. They'll be glad to see you, brother.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. Liberty. Those special features on that disc are sick, bro.
I still haven't gotten that one.
Synops did a documentary called Just Desserts, the making of Creepshow. I got that too, bro. That shit is awesome as well. Creepshow, I go all out, man. That's one of my all-time favorites. Scarpad had an extra copy of this.
Nice.
So he tossed me his because he got the steel book, so he was like, "You take this," which hell yeah, bro, because I didn't have this, so I really needed it.
Too bad it's not 2 and 3.
Dude, speaking of 2 and 3 wanting. This is another one. I know 2 and 3. I wish it was that, but another one he sent me that I wish I had 2 and 3. So I got the 4th one.
Me too, bro. I want 2 and 3.
I got Return. I got The Return, which I love, but man, I want 2 and 3 so fucking bad.
You might as well just try to get the old DVD set. You know what I'm saying?
I
Because
know.
like 2 and 3 they're way overpriced for
It's
what those
ridiculous.
movies are.
Somebody's
And I have heard, there's a rumor I have heard that the reason why they haven't reprinted, due to the high demand, they haven't reprinted the Slumber Party Massacre double feature is because of rights issues with 3, which is probably why it's not on Amazon Prime. But I have heard that they have worked that out as part of the deal to make the remake. Yeah. So hopefully with the remake, we'll get, I would like a box set of all 3. And I would even say in a box set to fill it up and make the price even, to make it worth Scream Factory's time, put Sorority Row Massacre on there too.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. Sorority Party. You know what I'm talking about, Sorority. I think it's Sorority Row Massacre, right? That's the Corman stuff too, right?
I think so. Yeah. I've been dying to watch the 3rd Slumber Party, without a doubt. This is a fun one that I ended up watching, and it's a Rutger Hauer called Split Second. I've never heard of this company though. I think it's MVP Rewind Collect, or MVD.
Interesting.
But dude, it's got a sweet slip.
It's a great cover.
It's got a great cover. The monster is kind of like a Predator, Alien ripoff, kind of. I feel like Scarpad had it like right on the money. It's like Blade Runner meets like Alien and Predator. You know what I mean? But it was a fun one. You know, it had some goofiness, but dude, it looked really good. And that slip is dope. This is a better look at. That's like the monster.
Yeah.
And
what's that called again?
What? Split Second.
Split Second.
It's a fun one. Scarpad got it off Hamilton, and they sent him 2, and they only charged him for 1. So he's like, "Do you want a copy?" And I was like, "Hell yeah," because I'll check anything Rutger Hauer.
Nice.
I also got, because I've been on a little Sam Raimi kick with getting Drag Me to Hell, and I rewatched it. I love that one.
That's about to get hard to find, I think. You can still get it cheap, but like Amazon ran out.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Dude, I'm so glad I got it then, dude. I had no idea. Actually, maybe I did see it because it was getting low. I can't remember, but I want to get the other 2. I know the other 2 aren't as good as the first because they changed the Darkman as well, but they're both Scream Factory, so in time I'd like to get them. I found this at my local store, and I've been wanting this. I've been trying to find these, but the Alien anthology. They had like the regular Blu-ray set for $20, and I figured $5 more, get the little box. It has a bonus discs and everything. So
yeah, that's what I have.
This is what you got? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the other one, set. I could have got the other one, but I was like, man, $5 more, I'll get this like official set. It's worth it for Alien. It's worth it for Alien.
Alien's worth it.
That it is. Last 2 Blu-rays, I had to do it. I got them cheap, and because I really wanted that documentary.
Yeah.
And because I really want to listen to the commentary on this one as well, even though it's the director's cut, which I like the theatrical cut better.
Gotcha.
But because it's a different ending on the director's cut. It's totally different ending.
Oh, really?
I like the theatrical better, honestly. It's not as ambiguous and not really as confusing, to be honest. But I still really wanted them both. I mean, I'm a huge Halloween fan, so shout out Bueller though for sending these my way.
Nice.
And
I got them too, man.
Make sure you go salute Station, my boy. Oh yeah, I had to. Dude, Darkman is gonna be on the way too, because I remember Robbie. He sent you the Knock 'em Dead suite.
Yeah, he sent me that one too.
That's a cool one.
That was my Thunderdome prize.
Hell yeah. What was I gonna say? Darkman, because I remember you were gonna review Darkman and something else won. So someday.
No,
soon,
we did Darkman. Darkman won. We did. Yeah, we did Darkman. Yeah.
Okay, shoot. Well, eventually, then we're gonna have to do the trilogy. You know what I mean? Because we can't just redo Darkman, but Darkman's worth it. So, but dude, thanks again, Bueller. I know you're not listening now, but I already said thank you to him and that I'd be showing him off. Had to come show off. It's official. I got the PCP pin. I'm so pumped. As soon as I figure out how to take it off, the Dylan Torres show pin, which I showed a couple of the guys and they're tripping wanting them. I think Link, my man Missing Link wanted the pin more than anyone. But
that's a nice Jason there. Who drew that?
I was gonna say what young man drew that. Thank you, Robbie. Linnea Quigley forever. And shout out Mike for picking this up at the con recently that they did.
Yep.
Jamie Lee Curtis Goodness is Laurie Strode, which is actually a really good picture drawn. And then the Michael Myers, which I gotta get these framed. I think they both came out real nice. And then yeah, this should be last. And then, dude, I honestly was thinking about, since you guys signed this, the Dylan's Horror Show signed by the whole PCP OG crew, chilling with Dylan, USOB, Robbie. I got the medal from Jay Strick, Brooks, and Jelani, and Mad Mike.
Hell yeah.
Dude, you know what I thought, though? Because I knew the Mad Mike, that the other one, the one in the comic book community, not Mike Zero. I was just messing around calling him Mad Mike. Yeah. But he had me sign a comic book, and he was passing it all around. I was like, man, that would be kind of cool if I had sent this around and got it signed by a bunch of people.
That would be cool. And
then frame it. But yeah,
that'd be dope. That'd be like Bueller's vest that he has or whatever, with people signed it or whatever.
Oh, last but not least, I gotta show this. I finally got it, Robbie. I ordered it. I told Jay Strick about it, and he still got his before me, but the dawn of the day that I finally got the Argento. I don't think I showed this off, did I?
No, I don't think you have.
I don't think I showed it last week.
Beautiful.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. Just a classic. I got to get Day of the Dead and Diary of the Dead, and then, Diary. I got Survival. And then my Dead collection is complete. I'm getting Day. I'll wait on Diary. That can, you know what I mean? But Day, I got to get it. I got to get Day ASAP before my luck, it goes up in price, because that happened with People Under the Stairs. I was waiting. It went out of stock. Went back in. I bought it for that 14, and then it went up to 20. And now I don't even know if you can get it still, but
yeah,
I had to get that. Such an awesome set. Such a beautiful set. Love it. Love it. Love it. I got it displaying proudly back there, bro. Love it.
Nice.
My first copy of it, bro. I've only ever been able to just rent it, like at the VHS store. You know what I mean? I've never owned it. Never.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So that's a good one. So what do you got going on this week before we bounce out, my brother?
Well, there's not going to be a Rockin' Robbie live tomorrow night because we're doing the birthday stream. That's going to be Monday night. I do want to point everybody to my channel on Thursday afternoon at 2 p.m. Central Time when Dan Waters will be joining us on the show.
Tuesday?
The writer. Thursday,
sorry.
Thursday at 2 p.m. Central Time, Dan Waters, writer of Picture of Everything Else and Homesick Pilots, is going to be joining us here on the channel over at Pop Culture Philosophers. And PCP Movie Night next week on Friday night is Brooks's pick, and it's Enter the Dragon. So, hell yeah.
Nice. Enter the Dragon. Who's that with? The Bruce Lee?
Bruce Lee, yeah.
That's what I thought. Hell yeah, that should be a good one.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Or you should have got Bob, bro. He loves Kung Fu.
Yeah, but he's a busy man.
I know. All right, so next week I got the stuff me and Robbie will be reviewing. And just wait till you find out what the pick is for the week after that. Got 2 classics coming at you back to back. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I know these are two we've really been wanting to do. I was debating on this or the Blob, but this is a little bit more accessible right now. So, but you can get the Blob off Scream Factory directly, Robbie, since I know Strick was saying Amazon doesn't have it. So you can, you might have a better chance getting the slip from them. I don't know. Because you never know. But that one's not going out of print. Not at least that I know of. It's just, I feel like some things are getting harder for them to keep having made, you know. So once they run out, it's gonna be a while with everything that's been going on, you know.
Yeah.
So a lot of these movies get made down in Mexico, I think, dude, if you notice. So yeah. But dude, Station, my brother. Happy fucking birthday. Happy early birthday. Happy Robbie week. So thank you everyone for hanging out. You know, Fable, TM, Big Herm, Liberty, Comic Toby, what was that? Where else? Jamie, Sam Fett. Sam Fett finally came back, man. He's been having trouble making with the new time, so it was good to see him. Mark, Bruce, Missing Link, and hopefully I didn't miss nobody. No Good Comics. Oh, and yeah, that was about it. I'm sure there was other people, but thanks as always, my brother. Fucking love you, and I hope to see you Monday too. So I'm gonna come stop by probably earlier than later. So
nice.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I had a sweet ass line too for this at the end. I totally forgot it. There's a good line in Suspiria. Ah, shit. What was it? Fuck it. I can't.
Builds up the blood.
What was it when in Suspiria when the two girls are sitting down and she just asked the girl to borrow her slippers, and she sits down and she's like, "Oh, you're not used to people asking you for money," and she's like, "Oh, people's that their first name starts with an S," you know. What does she do?
They're snakes.